So we're already now certified intro cave divers. Maybe you've had some dives since the course, maybe we're starting or going back to back.
Yeah.
What can we expect now at the full cave diver level?
Yeah, so basically, when you think about the restrictions that were implemented for the intro to cave, you can kind of say the restrictions are off, right? You've got these stabilizers removed. So you've got pretty much free reign to do almost anything now. Now, first thing that will change is the gas management rule. That's the biggest change, I would say. That allows you to get a lot further in to a cave system. It shouldn't be set as a target though, something that you have to aim for. Let's use all of that gas, right? All of that rule of thirds, because there's lots of times where it won't be safe to do that, and caves inherently change as well, and different problems may arise. Now, the other thing to consider is that whereas you've been going in one place and maybe always coming out the same place, well, maybe you can get to different places now and actually exit at different times, making these what we call traverses. There's going to be, and this is where you're going from one entrance or exit to another entrance or exit. That may involve what we call complex navigation. And this is where you're having another decision inside the cave, where you're making jumps, connecting gaps, T's, whatever it might be. The problem with that is that the word is in its, actually how it says, it's complex navigation. So anything that's complex means there's potentially a decision to be made, certainly on the way out. And if that decision was the wrong one, well, you're no longer going out, right? You're actually going maybe further into the system, which we know is not good and results in not a good outcome.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that when you're making your intro cave level dives, you're taking your cavern reel, let's say from open water, you're connecting to the cave line and you're saying goodbye to the cavern reel, right?
Yeah.
You're joining an unknown cave line. And it's really that same thing happening a second time now, where you're leaving that perfectly good cave line.
Yeah.
And now you're going on to yet another line that you didn't start your dive on.
Sure.
And I think that, for me, it's where the significant moments of navigation are, where you're leaving this good line and going somewhere new.
And it's definitely worth making that distinction of that on that perfectly good line, let's say it's the intro line, the chances are it's going to be very easy to swim a lot of the time and quite big passages, well-traveled passages. The second you start making the jumps off at the full cave, you're going to experience more things that might happen. So you've got more percolation to deal with, maybe visibility impacted. You've got elements of halocline, you've got passages that are getting smaller, so restrictions. So that's something people need to bear in mind. You know, you've got to think to yourself, is the full cave level what I want to do, you know, or is intro diving more what I would like?
It's worth saying as well that some of the tasks and drills are more full as well, right? If you think about how you're going to make your zero viz exit, well, now you have the navigational points to travel over. But also, like you said, if you're going to go into smaller passages, you might find yourself in a restricted area. And that means that you're maybe going to be in single file now. And some of the things that worked at the intro level, not going to work at the full cave level. So I think we're stepping up now, not just the dive parts, but the kind of problem solving parts. How are you going to get out of the situations that you're in?
And it's unlikely as well as an intro diver, you'll experience being like thermal stress or a physical stress or a fatigue, you know, but it is quite likely at the full cave level, especially if you're going to attempt 2 full cave dives a day, you know, all these other things set in, this fatigue, this coldness, and this ability to maybe switch off a little. So there's an element of discipline needed, isn't there? An extra element of discipline. We know already cave divers need to have it, but I think that's what really people are signing up to. They're accepting that, hey, I do want to challenge myself. I want to see if I can go further into it.
Well, there's definitely the physical demand on being able to do that much diving. Of course, you need to have the energy for that as well. But also, if you think about the physics of the diving, you're using more gas. Your cylinders are going to go through more of a change now. Yeah. Maybe there's more trimming involved. Maybe you're going to find the impact now of what your tanks are doing that you didn't experience at the intro level. So I think there's a lot of differences that are going to happen, and that's why you should probably already have attempted some of these things before you should have done a 2-hour dive before.
In the open water.
Shouldn't be your first time, right?
Yeah, and that's a very good point, and that's again another one when people ask us, oh, how can I start preparing myself, you know, for these kind of dives? well, like you said, start making longer dives, and especially longer dives, not where you're being lazy, but where you're trying to be task focused. You're trying to stay at a certain level on a wall, you know, you're trying to stay, with a buddy the whole entire dive and things like this.